Hello everyone and welcome back to Knights and Merchants the remake. We are of course still playing the Shattered Kingdom campaign and we are doing this from the replay viewer. Because like I said in the previous video, it's easier for me to talk over what's happening while just looking from this reviewer rather than playing it at the same time. I'm showing it without fog so we can actually see the yellow faction. You can see that they have quite an army over here. There's basically two parts of this battle, or maybe even three parts. You have the first defensive line, which is at this bridge over here, and there's a second line which has defensive towers over here. And yeah, there is, you could say, a third line with two towers, but there's no real troops further, so it's not really another defensive line. So yeah, their base is not really much going on. They have a couple of troop production facilities, but they don't build anything further, so it's not too interesting to look too much at their base for now. At our base, however, it's quite interesting because you actually start with a couple of buildings in this 4th level. Of course, you start with the building you always have, which is the storehouse, but you also start with a farm, a stable, a bakery, mill, sawmill, and an inn. The sawmill is a bit odd because there isn't actually a woodcutter, meaning that you cannot actually make wood yet from there. The first building that we are of course building is the school, because the school allows us to train more peasants, more servants and more laborers, which as you can see we are really lacking. There's only 4 servants which you start with and only 3 laborers. So let's actually speed it up. And well, as they always do, they first actually fill up the inn before they start helping these guys build the buildings. Now this first building was maybe not placed in the best place, mostly because there's no road over here and they have to make all the way, or they have to walk all the way across this road to get to the building, but I mean soon after this that will solve itself. So by now the school is almost finished and that will allow us to build more buildings. We're of course also creating some servants and some laborers to help production get along. Next building we are going to build is a quarry, which also, of course, allows us to make stone. And at the moment, yeah, it's just really building up the basics, trying to get the economy up as fast as possible. Of course, you start with a couple of food in this level, so you don't need to focus too much on food at the beginning, but it is something that we will start looking at soon as well. This is the first building where you start with not so much gold. There's about 60 gold at the beginning, I suppose. But there is a gold over here. Gold ore is over here, which you can mine, and there is coal over here, which you both need to make actual gold to purchase new peasants from, or new merchants from. So the town is getting underway. The first 2 quarries are finished. I actually forgot to make a second, what are they called? Stonemason. I don't know how that happened. I thought I built one, but apparently I did not. Something that I always do on levels like this is that I always start with 2 miners and a metallurgist. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a bit of a weird word. I've never heard it before. But anyway, that's just to make sure that if we suddenly run out of gold, we can at least finish up the 3 buildings needed to make more gold. So I always make sure that I have at least those 3 guys at the beginning. Wood production is starting to build up. I'm starting with 4 woodcutters and 2 sawmills. One of course was already completed. And this will allow me to make a lot more buildings because I get a fast income of wood. I'm actually building 2 more quite early on in the mission. And a 3rd stonemason, which I'm doing right now. And you can see indeed the 2 woodcutters starting up as well. So I really wanted to make sure that I had enough production. Something that I'm also doing a bit different in this match is that I actually made 15 laborers, which just helped me build up much faster. And I really noticed that this indeed went faster because I had 15 of those guys. So my town is shaping up nicely. At this moment I'm also starting to build up my farms. And something that is, by the way, interesting, I hadn't said it yet. I decided to close down the stables because I just don't really see the use of cavalry in this game. They are of course faster, which in a multiplayer game could maybe be nice. Maybe if you can get behind the enemy flank and take down his archers, that would also be nice. But generally, especially because in a level like this you have this bridge over here, there is not that much use in spending too much resources on horses. And horses are quite expensive because they require a lot of corn to get going. So I just don't really see the need for them. At this moment, most of the buildings are starting to finish up again. The woodcutters are being built right now, and so is the sawmill. Some farms are starting to finish up, which will allow me to produce more corn as well as wine. Yeah, wine barrels it's called. I'm a bit confused again because this is of course different from Knight's Province. It's the same but just a little bit different. And I'm hearing in the background that something in my apartment building is starting to get drilling in a hole in the wall, which is a bit annoying. But I'm just going to continue the video. I hope you guys don't notice it. I don't think you actually do, so yeah, hopefully you won't hear it. Anyway, back to the town. So it's shaping up quite nicely. I'm starting up the gold production. There is a gold mine is soon to be start building, as well as the coal mine. And yeah, the farms are also starting to finish up. So it's getting into a decent position. I'm also setting up 2 fisheries over here. You can see that the roads have been built already. And these will just generate some additional food for me. Which is always a good thing, of course. Food is the most important resource there is in this game. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I have enough food and a good variety of food. My units are a bit in a disarray. They just have... I think they just had food and I did not put them back in position yet. But this is still the first half hour, so I don't really expect an enemy attack from the yellow faction. Back in town, we have completed the gold mine. We are starting to make one more gold mine as well as a second coal mine. And of course we have this building over here, which is the building to actually turn it into gold. I'm not going to try and pronounce that name again, because I've already failed enough on that. And for the rest, I've decided to mostly expand to the north here. I made a little mistake, because this road, it looked like it actually continued, but I needed to build this one. Because without this stone over here, my people could not really get here to actually get the resource to where they needed to be. I'm building a second storehouse over here. I felt like this one is too far away from the other one. And I figured having a second one here just makes it a little bit easier for my economy to keep going. So that was the plan over there. And yeah, these buildings are just starting to finish up as well. I'm building some more farms to make sure that my food input is good enough. And especially that I'm making enough corn, which I will also need for leather armor in the future. At this point, my food supplies were still a bit dwindling. I was at 23 wine and 45 bread, pretty much. You can also see that I'm almost out of gold. However, this building has finished up, so I'm producing gold as well. And yeah, at this moment, my town is doing quite well. Something that I did not really notice at this point was that I was kind of lacking servants. Maybe not here yet, but at least later on in the battle, I really noticed that I was kind of lacking servants, and yeah, that brought me into a bit of trouble because my supplies were just not getting picked up fast enough. You can see it already here that there's just 5 gold ore over here, and that's just a waste of resources because they are not working right now. You can see him sitting here, nodding his head. He's just he's bored right now, and he's just waiting for something to do because it's just not getting picked up. Now, I did start making servants at some point, but it took a long time before I really had enough. Basically, as long as I was building buildings, which is for probably another half an hour maybe, I just did not have enough servants to get everything to where I wanted it to be. I'm expanding my economy a bit further. I'm making some more mills. I'm actually going to slow it down for a little bit. I'm adding some more mills just to get some more wheat production, or flour production it's called in this game. And a second bakery to just make sure that I have enough bread. I had, well, it was at 56 at that moment, so I was getting enough input, but I wanted to expand my town further. And I figured I also want to expand my army, which might also require food every once in a while. So I just wanted to make sure that I had a good stockpile of food. This one is kind of empty, so some wood is being taken here, some wine is being taken here, but I was planning to actually extend this a little bit further even, and to just make sure that I had very good economy here, and to really spread out my resource areas a little bit. Of course, I have 2 farms in south as well. I could have expanded more to the south, but I figured because of this coal over here, I did not want to build anything over that coal. And yeah, that's why I decided not to really go to the south, but just go up north. That was the best position to be in for my production things. At this moment, I also started making swine farms. I think that I made 2 at this point. Yeah, 1 over here in the south. It was not the best position. It wasn't really where I wanted it to be. But it was difficult to get it exactly where I wanted it to be because this area was kind of full already. So I just had to find somewhere where I could build it. And this is a decent position in my opinion. Just up north where I wanted to expand a little bit further. I could try to build the other one as well over here as well. I'm sorry, but these slopes were kind of in the way, and I couldn't really build over them. So I had to decide to build them somewhere more in the south because I wanted to get my true production over here, and that just didn't really work if I also started building a lot of other buildings. Let's speed it up a little bit again. At this moment I decided to actually destroy my cavalry farm or horse breeder or whatever it's called, and just build another swine farm because yeah, I was not going to make horses anyway, so why have the building? And before the 60-minute mark in this time, normally I'm after the 60-minute mark, but this time I got it before that, I started working on weapon production. And yeah, at this moment I just had a very good economy. I had a lot of wood coming in, I had a lot of stone coming in, seeing that I had 3 quarries. And I figured, you know what, it's just getting time to start true production. And yeah, you can see that the workshops are starting to finish here. Let's take another look at the enemy forces. Now, not much is going on here. They have expanded a little bit, I think. I think they had less cavalry and less archers at the beginning of the battle. But they did not really grow that much. It's pretty much stayed unchanged. Same goes over here. Not much has changed yet there. So it's a good thing that I've started true production at this point. I do see 1 soldier down south here. He might be expanding a little bit down there. But for the rest, there's not really that much happening. And let's see, how far are we? So at this moment we have finished up 4 workshops. They are producing hand axes mostly. And I have 1 specialized in lances and 1 in longbows. And 1 more is being finished up here, which will also focus on axes. Another building that I'm building is of course the barracks, which will allow me to actually train these guys. And we are also working on 3 armory workshops, which will help me to produce leather armor and shields. So what you can really see at this point, like I said before, is that my infrastructure is not working really well. There's 5 tree trunks in both of these woodcutters. This guy has 5 barrels, or actually 4 barrels. This guy has 5 barrels, this guy has 5 corn. And you can just see that my infrastructure is kind of stuck. And I have to admit that at this point I was not really building any more servants yet. I just didn't really notice it. Until this moment, as you can see. Because here I am starting to build more servants. I should be building a 2nd school here somewhere as well. Because I figured, you know what, I just need to get more schools up. To also help me build recruits a lot easier. And yeah, to also extend my servants a little bit. I'm building another vineyard over here on the right, which will help me make sure that I have enough food. My food supply is filling up, is going up. However, the wine production was not really doing that well. I had 32, which was the number I was around for quite some time. So I wanted it to get a little bit up from there. Yeah, this inn was actually empty at that moment because my guys just weren't supplying it fast enough, which was really an issue at that moment. But I should start building more servants soon, I think. Not yet. I built 2 more farms up here as well. And 2 more corn farms to the right. Just to make sure that I have enough corn, which will help me mostly Of course for the bread, but also mostly for my pig farms. Swine farms they are called here. To make sure that I get enough leather. And yeah, that would allow me to build up my army a lot faster. You can see that my weapon production is going quite well. At this moment I am already at 25 axes, which is of course a very good number to have. And the other supplies are also going quite well. I was not starting to build units yet, but I should be starting that quite soon from this point on. I'm still waiting for that second school to go up, because I know that as my second school goes up, I'm starting to really focus on my army. Now, I think that I'm still going to make this a two-parter video. So this one will be about the economy, and then the second video, which will probably be a bit shorter, but however, I'm not speeding up the time so much as I'm doing in this video. So the second part will really be mostly about the fighting itself. And yeah, like I said, it won't be speed up as much, so it will be probably about as long as video as this will be. But like I said, I do want to make it a two video parter, I've just decided. At this moment my economy is growing quite strong. My units are getting ready, I'm starting to make some recruits as well. These two farms are being built right now, which means that I get more corn. And it's overall just looking better for my town. And yeah, I'm getting close to where I can start building units. You can see that at this moment I have 33 leather armor, which is a very good amount, of course. And yeah, it's just going really, really well. So here goes the second school, which I've been talking about for quite some time. And this is the moment where I really start focusing on making my army. At this moment I'm still not having enough servants. It's going a little bit better than it was before, but I'm still having buildings with too many resources inside of them. So yeah, it's like I said, it's going better because, well, not that much better actually still. I think I'm going to make some new servants soon as well. At this moment I'm still at 50, I think I'm growing that to about 75. Yeah, it should get 75 soon. So I'm starting to make my first units. There's 12 X-Men going to the front. Like I said, I'm making some more servants here. Just to make sure that my economy really improves, because that's really necessary. I'm also working on my infrastructure a little bit. Making better roads for my people. To make sure that my servants can also move around much faster. Now, I am seeing that I'm making a lot of troops at this moment. So I kind of think I'm going to end the video over here. And just continue the fighting part in the second video. Because like I said, I just want to make it a two-parter. I don't want to make this a 40-50 minute video, because I just find it too long. I'm noticing from myself that I'm talking a bit too fast for myself. I don't know why I'm doing it. I just want to make sure that there's no quiet. I'm still having a bit of issues with making these videos, or at least being comfortable in making these videos. I'm trying to improve that about myself, but it's difficult to get yourself into a calm state. I noticed that I need to become a bit more myself in these videos. Well, the things I'm saying are myself, but I'm getting a bit too nervous about these videos still. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to end the video now, and I'm going to continue the second part soon. So I'm going to thank all of you for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like. If you haven't yet, please also subscribe to my channel. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say for this video. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.